Everybody, hope everybody's doing good. Welcome. I don't remember when the last time was we did a live. It's been a little bit.
It has.
But we are coming to you live from Italy. We are in a little port town called Monopoly. And we're just kind of hanging out here for a month or so. We've been riding a lot of trains here in Europe, and we've been sharing some of those with you guys on the channel. Hope you guys had a chance to see some of those and just kind of see some comparisons and just some different options for traveling outside of the US as well as in the US. So yeah, we're excited. What do you think?
Yeah, love it so far. We have had a great time in Europe.
Yes.
And ridden so many cool trains. Just have really loved it.
Yes. So, oh my goodness.
Have so much to share when we get a chance
to
share all of our experiences from Europe. But it has been very educational and very fun.
Yes, we've been spending a lot of time editing those videos that we took on all those trains. So they're coming. Just keep tuning in every Friday morning, and you'll see those videos. But ask away any questions. We do have a few questions that have already come in beforehand.
Yep.
So Rob, you gonna dive into
I'll
those?
dive in a few. And one thing I wanted to mention right off the bat, probably the biggest question we get is on trip planning for Amtrak,
Yes.
how to plan your trip. And it is difficult. We do know that the biggest help that we have for you is that we have a set of maps on our website, groundedlifetravel.com, and it tells you where each train starts and ends, which is really key for planning your Amtrak trip, because when you're planning on Amtrak, you don't want to take a lot of trains. You want to take as few trains as possible because the connections are not close and you generally have to stay overnight. So if you go to the website and check that out, that will help you know which trains you're even looking for your cities. Or you can ask us on here too.
Yes.
So, and then I think the number one question we've been getting on the Europe videos, which I'll go ahead and answer for you, is like which is the prettiest country we've been to trains? I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I think Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland was amazing.
For the views from the train.
And we haven't even posted any of those videos.
I know.
Yet.
I just edited some this week.
So
I've got some ready for you coming up soon.
Yeah, so that is probably the biggest question that we've gotten. So welcome everybody. So glad you're here and that we're able to be back and do this. So,
yes. So it looks like we got a lot of questions coming in.
I'm going to
we'll
start
reading the
questions. But
here we go.
I'll give you one question that comes in a lot too. You can answer that while I'm reading these is, can you lock the doors on Amtrak when you leave the room?
Oh, yes. A lot of people do ask us this. And we've seen the locks on doors a couple of times, but we don't see those little loops that you can put the lock on all the time on the trains. And that's the only way you can do it if you have a door that has that. So if you want to bring a small, the little locks that you can do with the key, they're small, they're about this big, then you can do that, but you might not be able to use the lock. I have seen the duct tape method, and actually Amtrak staff I've seen do that to their doors. They put a piece of duct tape on the outside just to keep the door from opening when they're not in the room. Yeah. But other than that, we've actually never had any problems, and we've never used a lock on any of our rooms.
Okay, so let's jump into your questions that you're asking today. Brandon is asking, I see the layouts of the Amtrak cars. How do I know which way the car will travel? It's a good question. There is no way to know.
Right.
Because they don't know. And in fact, sometimes they think they know, but then they told us they may flip it before the day of.
Yes.
So you really don't know by the layout, and you don't know by your room number which side you'll be on, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a bummer. Yeah. We've also found
it is a bummer.
That is really true in Europe too. You don't know ever which way you're going. And so it makes it really hard to plan.
Right, because you could book, like in Europe, a couple of times we booked seats going forward because I get motion sick. It's better for me when I travel on trains. I have no motion sickness issues if I travel facing the direction of travel. So we usually try when we book our seats, if we can book seats, we book seats going in the direction of travel. And a couple of times we got on the trains and we got stuck going the other way because they put the car on the other direction. So unfortunately, we can't control them.
What is the best time of year to travel by train? That's pretty subjective, but I think I love winter.
Yes. It's really pretty with the snow. So I like that. And it doesn't really matter much as far as like delays or anything like that. It's really quite, like you said, subjective. It's up to you what you like more. If you like to look more at the green and the flowers, do the spring, or if you like to see the leaves changing, go in the fall. It's really up to what you're hoping to see. But really, all year round is great to travel by train.
And then there's a question coming in that I think we'll get a little bit, and we've gotten on YouTube a lot, which is, what have we faced in Europe as far as our travel? And I'll just say this because everything changes rapidly, so I'll just answer it. We came in, we flew into Spain, and then we traveled only by train. So we went to France, and then England, then Scotland, back to England, back to France, Switzerland, Austria, and now we're in Italy. Have had no problems at all. There's no problem. So it's been way easier than we thought it would be. We were pretty stressed about traveling that much.
You just don't know with that many country changes.
It's been pretty easy.
And everything changes pretty rapidly, so you just have to keep up with the websites for each country, and that'll keep you up to date with what's happening right then, because it literally changes by the day.
So let me see here. My wife and I are planning on traveling on the sleeper from London to Scotland. Is it as good as your video makes it? It was pretty good. That's the Caledonian sleeper. It was pretty good. That's probably the nicest.
That was really nice.
That's the nicest sleeper train we've ever been on.
Yeah, we did. You've only seen one of the two videos. We did do that double room, but then we also did, what was the other room? What do you call that? A regular double twin room. So it's bunk beds like we would get like on Amtrak. So we've done two different types of room, even though we've only showed you one video of it so far. And we really enjoyed both. I don't even know which one I liked more. If I liked more the double, or as far as the Caledonian, Tony, if that's what you're asking. I don't know which one I liked more. They were both nice. We enjoyed both rooms.
Yeah, I will say this. If you're going to ever do the Caledonian, we probably wish we had gone further. Like, up to Fort William or Inverness. Because when you get off in, like, Glasgow, it's really...
It's short.
It's short.
Yes.
So you wake up and you're off. If you go up to, like, Fort William, you wake up, you have breakfast, you're on for another couple hours. I would do that.
Yes.
Unless you just really want to go to the big cities. Aaron's asking, how did you start getting into riding trains?
Well, Rob has actually always loved trains. And we wanted to travel by train a lot, but really, I was always concerned as far as the motion sickness, which I mentioned earlier. I was, concerned about getting sick on the trains. And actually, the first time we started doing more long distance trains was when we were in Europe a couple of years ago. And I did just fine with those. So we thought, when we get back to the US, let's hop on Amtrak and we'll do that. Hopped on Amtrak, did great, and absolutely fell in love with it. We love traveling that way because we're never really in a hurry since we travel full time. So that's not a concern. And the staff is always so good to us on Amtrak that we really love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah. John's asking, what are good overnight options from Texas for beginners? You got a couple good ones.
Okay.
You could take the Texas Eagle, appropriately named, or you could take the Sunset Limited. And the Texas Eagle is going to go north to Chicago. Sunset Limited is going to go west to LA. Texas Eagle is going to go both those. The Sunset Limited is going to also go to LA, but it'll also go to New Orleans to the east. So
so it depends on if you want a longer trip, you can go out west, or a shorter trip, you can go over to New Orleans.
Yeah, those are both good. But if
or
you're
up to Chicago.
If you're gonna actually, I would go west, because if you go east to Chicago, you're not gonna have traditional dining.
Oh, that's
so
true. Yes.
If you want the best trip from Texas, go west towards LA. On either the Texas Eagle or the Sunset Limited. That's what you should
There you go.
Thank you, Judith.
Judith,
Super
thank
chat.
you.
Really appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Judith.
Really appreciate that.
Awesome.
If you have a question, let us know. I'm trying to find them on here.
We got so many of them on here.
Skipping around a little bit, but
yes.
Let's see where I was. Yeah, so I would definitely go west on the Texas Eagle. And let's see.
Thank you, Judith. I'm glad you've enjoyed them.
A lot of people saying Switzerland is gorgeous.
Yes, we agree.
Totally agree with that. You enjoy riding in the train. We definitely do. Let's see. Robert's asking, can I ask how easy for a couple who don't drive to travel on Amtrak on cross-country rail? I'm from the UK. Would love to travel across the US to see the views. So, yeah, it's actually perfect for that, Robert, because while the US is a really big country, the Amtrak does go to basically all the major cities. So, for instance, we're going back next month in May.
In May.
Well, in May, yeah. And we're going to basically do the whole country.
Uh-huh.
And we're not going to have a car. So we're just going to use Amtrak. So you can go Chicago to LA to Seattle, back to Chicago.
Anywhere.
New Orleans, up to New York.
Up to the Northeast. Lots of great places.
So
yes.
While in the US you can't really get into the smaller towns very easily, you can really hit all the big cities. And you don't even want a car in the big cities. So
you don't.
Yeah. So
you don't want to have to mess with parking.
So Amtrak is a great way.
Yes. Yeah, we love it.
To see the USA.
It is. It's really quite easy to do that. Yes.
Let's see. Brandon's asking, is there enough room in your roomette for larger luggage? We're taking the train for the first time to go on a cruise, and we'll have large luggage. I don't know about securing my bag on a rack.
Okay, so if you're going...
You're probably going to
Florida for the cruise, assuming. It could be California, but I'm thinking probably Florida. If you're going to Florida, then you're going to be in a Viewliner, which means you're going to have quite a bit of room. There's a rack up above where you can put your big pieces of luggage. That's what we usually do with our 21-inch bags, the big ones. And we put those up there. And every once in a while, too, like if you have a bag that's too big to go up there or heavy, you can ask your attendant, and sometimes they can find a spot to put your bag for you, to store it for you, either in an empty roomette or sometimes like in the shower, in one of the showers or something that isn't being used. You could do that, but there is room in there to store stuff. I just wouldn't bring a ton of stuff because honestly, you don't need a ton of stuff really on the cruise,
Because the Viewliners actually don't have racks.
Right.
In the car. They just have...
It's just the Superliners have the racks.
Yeah. Can you do it live on how to apply for a career at Amtrak? It's a good idea. There's a couple Amtrak employees that are on these chats sometimes, and we could
they can chime in if they're on here. I haven't seen them yet.
What city has the best transit system, and what is your favorite Amtrak route? I have to say New York is probably the best transit system.
Easy breezy
in the U.S. And our best favorite route is the Zephyr. California
definitely.
Zephyr. From
this easy one.
Chicago to San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm traveling in first class for the first time. I thought the meals were from the flexible dining menu. I may have missed part of that question. Yeah. So if you're there's a couple different things. Flexible dining is on the East Coast routes. Traditional dining is going to be on your West Coast routes. And then if you're in first class, which kind of makes it sound like that's the Acela, then it's just you have
it's a different set menu. Kind of smaller menu.
Yes. Judith says, "Hey guys, caught the live. I really enjoyed the vlog so far. So thank you. We do appreciate that. What's it like in first class in general?" First class is only on the Acela. That's the only thing that's called first class. On the Superliners and Viewliners, you have coach, business, and sleeper cars. And first class on the Acela is just a little bit bigger than regular class. And
yes, instead of the seats having 2 and 2, it's 2 and 1 on this side, and on the side with the 1, there's some seats that are just the seat by itself with a table that folds down, and then some seats are facing each other, which is usually like, if you've seen our video on the Acela, Rob and I are facing each other and there's a table in between us.
So what's the best food on Amtrak?
The best food,
The
as
best
far as
meal.
like the best meal?
The best
Ooh,
meal.
okay, ooh, that's a toughie. Boy, well, that depends on if we're talking about traditional dining traditional dining. The steak is really good.
That's
The
what
flat
most
iron
people say,
steak
yeah.
is very good. I like that. For the appetizer, I definitely get the lobster crab cake.
And at lunch,
The lobster cake, if you like that.
at lunch, get the cheeseburger.
Of course.
It's really good. I've actually tried them on all the trains over here, and it's the best one. Thank you, Schumann Johnson.
Oh, Schumann, thank you.
Thank you
Oh, I
guys so
see
much.
you comment all the time on Facebook. Hi. I do see you
Yeah, we
comment.
recognize
Your comment all the time.
recognize your name.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Let's see. We're taking the auto train in October. Have you been on it before? I've been from New York to Florida, but his husband's first time. Any pointers for the auto train? Okay, so
Yeah, so here's the thing, is we don't have a car.
yeah.
So we haven't been on the auto train because we're like, why would we be on the auto train? Because we don't have a
tried.
car.
They won't let you.
We tried, but if you have to have a car basically to get on there. So, so we have done like, the Silver Meteor and the Silver Star. So we don't really have a ton of pointers on that, but I think you can buy a pass, like priority boarding and offloading as well of your
can.
car, which is a good thing. But we do have some more information on that route on our website, groundedlifetravel.com. If you click on the auto train, we have a whole route guide on that, so you can get more information there as well.
Let's see. Brandon was saying he was going to New York City, I think for the cruise.
Oh,
that's a good place to cruise out of.
That is a good place. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, if you're going to New York City, you're going to be on a Viewliner. So the
Okay.
same information that we said,
Yep.
it definitely applies.
Yep. So still the same. So you will have a rack overhead.
Portland, Oregon has a nice
Oh,
bus
yes,
like
they
this.
do have good transit system. You're right.
Edwin's asking, what if you have to cancel or change your trip? Any refunds? Yeah, there are, and we've done this a lot.
Yes.
Like we've changed a lot of trips. So
Yes.
there is
They've extended that now too.
there is a breakdown on our website of all the scenarios, what you'll get back. But essentially, if you have a room, like a roomette or something like that, you'll get most of it back. And it depends on the circumstance, like how many days out it is. I don't have it memorized, but you'll either get it back on your original form of payment, and sometimes you'll get it back as a voucher for future travel.
Right.
But we almost always get 75% of it back. A lot of times we get all of it back. I don't really remember exactly what the breakdown of when you get what back, but yeah, we've probably canceled like 8 trips over the years just because
of different issues or things
we
that have
messed
come
up
up.
or something came up. Well, with the world the way it's been, it's pretty easy.
Made
for
things
that
a little
time.
complicated.
But yeah, you do get money back, so
Yes.
it's not everything, but it's pretty
Yes.
good.
And if it is something on their end, then they will give you a full refund for it.
Brennan says the chance of getting his wife to pack light is slim.
You just show your wife my packing video on the channel, and hopefully that will help her to minimize the stuff. I could do like a FaceTime with her and tell her what not to pack.
Phil Sam says, how did you find the UK trains and stations? Did the announcements on the train and the platform help you? Yeah, we found that the UK one was very different than anything else, and so it took us a minute to like figure out what was happening because it's like you get to this big station and the stations are much bigger than most of ours. And everyone's kind of lumped around the big
Standing
board.
around staring, and you're
And
like,
then
what are they looking at?
Because they don't put what track your train is on until about 15-20 minutes before you leave. And then when they put it up there, everyone kind of runs to the track.
Yeah,
and so,
then everyone just takes off like this little pile of ants going in a direction.
so once we figured that out, it was helpful to get that part figured out. Because
Yes.
we of course got there like an hour early. And
Way
we were
too early.
like, where do we go? There was no information on where to go.
Yeah.
And so we just waited, but
So we learned our lesson. Don't get there too early because you're just going to be standing around. In a lot of the stations, there aren't even places to sit. So you're literally just going to be standing around. So yeah.
yeah, and the thing we noticed about the UK stations and Europe in general is in America, the inside of the station is like the grand part, like the nice part. In Europe, the outside of the station, like where the trains actually are, is the big cathedral type
it's very
part.
cool.
So it is different.
Yes, it is different for sure.
But when you're there in February, you don't want to get too early because it's not like, heated.
It's like outdoors, it's not indoors, so it's open to the outdoors, so it's, not temperature controlled.
So Jess is asking, can you do a trip from Maine to California? You can.
Yes.
But interestingly, it's not going to be continuous. It's the only trip you can't do continuously because from Maine, you would have to take the Downeaster to Boston. And then in Boston, you have to switch stations by either cab or, well, that's the best way we did it. But it's just it's like a mile.
It's not far.
And then from Boston, you could take that to Chicago on the Lakeshore Limited. And then from Chicago, you could
Then
go
across
like
to
3 different
California.
trains to California. So it would take you 3 trains and a cab to get
A short cab ride.
A short cab.
Or Uber ride, whichever you prefer.
From
But it was easy.
from Maine to California. That's about as tough as you could do. But yeah, you could do it. I'm 72 and I love to leave from LA and I would like to go on the train that leaves from Chicago. And you said don't get off at Denver or you'll not see the pretty part. Does this trip go round trip? Well, if you're going from LA, you could get off at Denver because the pretty part is between LA. Well, actually, it leaves from San Francisco.
Oh, yes.
If you're talking about the
Zephyr, yes.
Yeah, so you would need to go from LA to San Francisco for that train. And then from San Francisco to Denver, the pretty part is in there. So you could turn around in Denver and go back to San Francisco if you want to just see the pretty part. You don't need to go all the way to Chicago. But to answer your question, they do go round trip, but you have to just book the round trip. But you wouldn't really need to go through Nebraska.
Right, yeah.
Or all that stuff there. So Edwin says, thank you. I'm traveling from New York City to LA on September on a trip. I got a roomette on the Cardinal and the Southwest Chief.
Ooh, that'll be fun. Yeah, we're going to be doing, not the Cardinal, but we'll be doing the Southwest Chief when we're back in the States. So yeah, when we're back in the U.S. we're going back at the end of April, so we'll be doing trains all of May. We'll be on trains, so hopefully we'll run into some of you guys on the trains. Please say hi to us. But we're going to be doing 7 Amtrak routes in that month because we want to see our kids too. Our kids live in Chicago and LA, so we'll be going back and forth between them and seeing some family in between. And then we're also going to be going to Alaska, and we're going to do 2 trains in Alaska.
Chris is asking if they're wheelchair friendly. I think
the trains, yes. The trains are, and the staff has actually been really helpful. We've witnessed it many times with people either on the electric moving ones or like the ones where you have to push them. I don't know what those are called, manual, I guess. I've noticed that they do have ramps for entrance onto the train for the different stations, depending on if the train is elevated or lower. It just depends on which station you're in, where the train is going to be. They have different ramps for that. And then they also have lifts that they put the wheelchairs on, lift it, and then roll it into the train. So they've been very helpful from what we've seen.
Jacqueline says, have you ever experienced going to a hair salon while traveling in Europe?
Oh, no, I haven't. Because
I got my hair cut though.
Yeah, Rob did get his hair cut one time. I've been cutting his hair for 28 years. And one time what happened? The clippers, something happened to the clippers. We didn't have clippers in Athens, Greece. And so he went to to a hair salon and got his hair cut. It was really odd. How was that?
It was weird.
But I'm very fussy with my hair, so I actually do my own hair, so I do not have experience.
No, I cut your
with
hair
doing-
a couple of months ago.
He did. I did let Rob cut, like, how does it look, you guys? I let him cut
That was
the
pressure.
dead ends off the end, because for some reason, I just wasn't feeling it going straight, but he did a good job. It's straight. I know that it doesn't look
Yeah,
straight,
it
but
was-
see, it does look straight.
That was
I
a lot
think
of
so.
pressure.
What do
A
you
lot
guys
of
think?
pressure.
The things we do.
Brandon's saying, I can't find a train to Toronto, even though it's on the map on only certain days. They're not running right now.
They're not running to Canada right now.
Yeah, so you have to wait.
There would normally be one, but not right now.
Let's see. I am doing the Texas Eagle from Chicago to LA. Have you folks ever done that? 1x27 round trip. Texas Eagle from Chicago to LA.
Done.
We
Oh,
have
done that one.
We have done that one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not the whole way though.
No, we did. We've done the Sunset Limited because the Texas Eagle meets up with the Sunset Limited in Texas and then goes across the rest of the way. And if you're on the Texas Eagle coming down, and when it meets up with the Sunset Limited, they actually link the cars together, and then so you don't switch trains. You stay on your train. Your train just gets attached to the other one, and they all go together then to California. So we've only been down the Texas Eagle part way, but we have been all the way across on the Sunset Limited when it met up with the Texas Eagle, if that makes sense.
Russell's asking, can you book layovers on these cross-country train trips or just book segments? So you can't really like get off and then get back on because you would need a new ticket for that. And while you could do that, like if you went, the Texas Eagle goes from Chicago to LA. Now you could stop in St. Louis, get off for 2 days, get back on 2 days later, but you'll need a new ticket. Now, the problem with that is that if it was $1,000 to do it all at once, it's going to be like 800 and 800. So it's going to be like 1,600 to do it in 2 trips. So you lose a lot of money by doing that. So we generally recommend going terminus to terminus and not getting back on the same train. But if you really want to go somewhere, yeah, you could get off and wait a couple days, and then we've done it.
Yeah,
before.
we've done that.
It's going to cost a little more. But if you time it right, like you can go from Chicago to St. Louis, it's just all during the day. So you could just ride that in coach and then stay in St. Louis for a couple days and then get on the roomette from St. Louis to LA.
Right. Yep.
That's what we did.
There you go.
So, yeah. What did you think about the high-speed trains in Europe?
Ooh, I really did like those. I was expecting, so my only high-speed train experience previously had been on the Acela, and I found it like much smoother for some reason, and they're even faster than the Acela. So I thought it was really smooth, and it didn't feel like I was going so fast. I felt like on the Acela, I felt like I was going fast. It didn't feel that way on the trains here in Europe, which I thought was really interesting. We were talking about that. It feels much smoother, and I mean, I know obviously the upkeep of the tracks is a little bit different, but it felt smoother, and I did not feel like I was, careening through time.
Yeah, I thought that they were all going to be not all, but I thought more of them would be high speed. So they're not all really high speed either. And yeah, some people are saying the video is a little blurry. We are having, we're in a small village in Italy. And
so it's not your world's
internet,
highest speed.
Our internet is not fast here, but we wanted to jump on anyway.
Yeah.
So, no, I am not available to cut other people's hair. That is funny. Let's see.
I think that was his one and only haircut he was gonna do.
First timer from Chicago, Stacy's asking, what would be the best trains. So from Chicago,
you're in a great place.
you have all
Yeah.
the best trains.
You
So
go anywhere you want.
you could, if you want to do a short one, you could go east to New York City on the Lakeshore Limited. But probably two of the better routes are to the west from Chicago, which is the California Zephyr, to San Francisco, or the Empire Builder to Seattle.
Yeah.
Or Portland. Those are really the two best routes in America. And yeah, you're right there for both of them. Do the trains have Wi-Fi?
They do actually over here. I'm assuming the question is, do the trains in Europe have Wi-Fi? And the answer is yes, they do. And I was actually very surprised at how good the Wi-Fi was. Even when we were on the Eurostar. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. We were on the Eurostar going through the tunnel underneath the channel, and we still had Wi-Fi, which I wasn't expecting to have service while we were down there, and we did. And I was really surprised. We had it in we'd be out in the middle of nowhere, in France somewhere, and it's like, whoa, we still have Wi-Fi out here. So I was actually very impressed by that. And in some places it was actually really fast too, which I really liked.
Susan says she's got a great trip planned with her son. Thanks for the tips. You're very welcome.
Oh, good.
And Peter's asking, are you going to take the sleeper train that goes on the ferry to Sicily?
Ooh, we are strongly considering that. I think we will. I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to, right?
Yeah,
right?
we do.
Yeah, I think we do.
But what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way to Milan first and then ride it all the way down because it'll be longer.
Yes.
Because the biggest problem we've had with the sleeper trains in Europe is they're too short. So you go to bed,
because everything
you wake
is
up,
close together.
You get off. So we want to make it longer. So we're going to wait till we go north, go all the way south, and then go all the way back up.
Yeah.
What are the most affordable places to travel to in Europe? Best routes for students on a budget?
Yes.
Good question.
Ooh, that is a
Where
good
we are
question.
right now in Italy is very affordable. Southern Italy is very affordable.
We're in the heel of Italy. We are in the Apulia, also known as Puglia region of Italy. So we're right where the heel is of the country. It's really quite lovely here. We'll show you guys some video at some point of that. But it's really quite nice here and extremely affordable. And the tickets are also quite affordable as well.
Yeah, if I had to pick the best place, this would be it, Italy.
And so we're in Monopoli for people who are asking. Monopoli, Italy.
Have you ever purchased the rail pass?
We have not purchased the rail pass. We have traveled with people who were riding with the rail pass. They bought it especially when it was on sale for $2.99. I think it was last summer when a lot of people were traveling with it. And so we were chatting with them about it, and they were really happy that they got it, and they got to do a lot of really cool stuff. So I think that's a really good option. It's a really good budget option, even at the regular price. But when they put it on sale for $2.99, that's a really good deal too. We do have an entire blog that explains article on our website that explains how the rail pass works as well, because there's a lot of nuances and details that you need to know, like what counts as one leg and how do I book it and all that kind of stuff. So groundedlifetravel.com, we do have that on there, and it'll explain it all to you.
Bill is asking, best guess on when they are back to full service on the long distance routes. I heard it will be reduced through May.
Correct.
So Allie just had a phone call with she used her, I'm only like first level select status. She has the executive master status. So
we have a special number.
She called them up because we got an email last week, and they said they canceled one of our trains.
One of our trains that we already have booked.
So she called them up.
So I called and
chatted
with the agent there, and he said this is what they're calling the spring schedule. So it is going to stay through May. There are a couple of them that have been canceled that are going back to full service. So definitely check the schedule. And make sure that the website has been updated so that you will know if your train is going or not. It turned out that our train, that we got the email mistakenly, so our train was actually still on the schedule. So all of our stuff is still on the schedule through May, and then they're going to be making some changes for the summer. I do think personally, this isn't like I know this, but I think that they're going to be going back to full service in the summer because it is going to pick up quite a bit this summer.
Yeah. Solomon's asking, can you recommend any scenic trains to cross the Alps? Looking for a trip from Germany to Italy and debating a quick flight versus train. Yeah, you want to take a train because it is beautiful. So you want to go, you'll go through Switzerland, and I think the best value for the money, if you can get to Kurs, Switzerland, you want to take the Bernina Express into Italy. It'll take you right into Italy.
Yep.
And it is stunning.
It is. It's
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
One of the best routes ever.
So Bernina Express.
Bernina Express.
Bernina Express.
And you could also do just regional trains on that same route. Now, if you don't want to take the sightseer train. But yeah. Have you been on the German ice trains yet? It's one of the best.
Ooh, no. Now I'm interested. I would like that.
People want to know where we are in Italy. I think you answered
Oh,
that.
Monopoly with an I. So like the board game, but an I instead of a Y at the end.
KT was saying she didn't know the coach tickets couldn't eat in the dining room. Yeah, I think that's still the case.
That's still the case. They could before, but not anymore. But they can go to the snack car and get food there. Or to the cafe, I should say.
In Europe, there's an Interrail pass for all countries. There's
Right.
something in the U.S. Yeah, there's the rail pass, but it's not exactly similar. You get 10 trips for $499, and they need to be all in coach. That's what you can get there. What would be the easiest and quickest way from Nashville to get to Florida on Amtrak? There is no good way, unfortunately. My map just fell over, but we're in Atlanta, and so what we do is we have to go to DC, and from DC to Florida. That's really the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so it's like the worst thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish it was on the plan, is on the plan for further expansion, but it's gonna be a while until they do that.
Travel to Spain? Yes, that was our first place.
Yes, that's where we started. We flew from the U.S. into Spain. Yes, our video 2 weeks ago was Madrid, Barcelona to Paris by train. So you should check that out.
Peter's asking, there is a Eurail pass too, but not convinced it's a good deal. Yeah, we didn't buy the multi-country pass in Europe because we agreed with you it wasn't a good deal. We did buy the Swiss pass. The Swiss travel pass, which gets you basically free rides on any, and it was expensive.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. We used it.
It was worth it. We got every single penny we could out of that. We used it a lot. We rode over 40 trains on it. So,
in Switzerland.
In just Switzerland alone. So yeah.
In like 8 days.
We got our money's worth.
So what do you, Trans wants to know what you think of the Crescent.
Oh, the Crescent, yeah, that's the one that that's the one we usually ride out of Atlanta because, that's the easiest one for us to either go north to DC or we've taken it actually south as well to New Orleans to hop on the Sunset Limited, and that one's a good one. It just depends. What I like about it is it's kind of some cool, kind of quintessential USA views from that train through the part of the country that it goes through, so I kind of like that. It is pretty. It's a lot more like city kind of views out of that train. Yeah.
So Phil Salmon saying the rail pass isn't worth the $4.99 when compared to the Euro version. It depends. If some people love coach, and if you're gonna ride like from Chicago to Seattle and then Seattle to LA and LA to Chicago, then it's worth, basically it costs you $49 per route. So if you're gonna do a lot of overnight coach routes, then it's worth it. But if you're not gonna do overnight coach routes, no, it's not worth it.
Right.
Then at all. So you just have to know what you want to do and if you think that'll work for you. So let's see. Liam is saying, I'm from the UK, now in LA. I got here by ship, then train.
Oh, wow.
Southwest
Aw.
Chief, disappointed not to see you on there.
Sorry.
Next time I'll take the train. Yeah, that would be great to see. And we are going to be riding a lot of trains in May. So if you see us, come say hi. We want to say hi to you because that would be great. A lot of times we do see people in the station that have watched the channel or have we taken the Glacier Express from Zermatt?
We did, yes. Oh my goodness, that was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. We rode it from terminus to terminus, and wow, it was absolutely stunning. Gorgeous views. I don't know how many times I said wow while we were on that train, but I actually just edited that video a couple of days ago, so keep an eye on the channel because it's coming up soon.
Bid Up, any plans to do a video on how to use it?
So we don't have a video on it, but we do have an article about that on our website, groundedlifetravel.com, and explains it all to you, how it works, how much time you have, what your chances are, all that kind of stuff. So head over there and type in Bid Up on the search bar and it will come up for you, and I do believe it will answer all of your questions.
Robert's saying he's taking his first big cross-country trip in April. Buffalo to Emeryville.
Oh, wow. That's going to be a lot of fun.
We didn't find ourselves on the driverless train system, no.
No, yeah, we had an engineer every time that I saw.
Robert wants to know if we bump into a lot of fans while traveling. Not in Europe. Nobody knows who we are in Europe.
I don't know about fans.
Amtrak, we meet a lot of people.
We do run into we meet a lot of great people when we're traveling with Amtrak. So anyone that said hi to us, hello.
Yeah, Stacy's saying she's thinking about the rail pass. It is a good deal if you're going to do coach.
Yes.
Because it basically is $49 a ride.
Yeah.
And some of those long coach trips are like $200.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you want to get sleeper cars, don't do that.
Yeah, don't. Because you can't upgrade the rail pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is one of the things you'll see in the articles. There's lots of little nuances like that with it. So make sure you read it before purchasing it so you know exactly how it works.
And Brandon is saying, I wish there was a train to Alaska. Yeah, we do too.
Us too. We're going to have to take a train up to Seattle and then fly to Alaska to get on the Alaska trains.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's about all the questions for today. Yeah. We just wanted to pop on and say hello. It's been a long time since we've been live.
It's been a few months, so we wanted to pop on here, say hello from Italy. You can see how cute is this apartment we rented. We're in this Airbnb and it's adorable. It's right in the historic part of the city and it's really, really pretty. If you follow our Instagram, also groundedlifetravel.com, I post a lot of pictures and the stories and stuff on there. And I think they do come on Facebook too. You probably see them on Facebook, but I post a lot of stuff on the stories there. So I'll show you around the town on the stories on social media. So make sure you follow us on there. Do not forget that we've got the website, groundedlifetravel.com. There is a ton of information on there. A lot of people ask us questions and the answers are already on the website. So if you think of a question, go there first, groundedlifetravel.com, and click the little, magnifying looking glass thing. That's your search bar. Type in what you're looking for there, just a few words, and it'll pop right up. And then if you don't find it on there for some crazy reason, then comment or, send us a message.
Yep. Let me answer 2 more questions real quick. We'll log off. Someone has about taking kids on a train. There is a family bedroom. You can fit 4 people in that, but if they're teens, they may not fit.
They won't watch
the video.
Unless they're really short.
If they're really short,
yeah, watch the video because it will tell you the measurements of the beds and everything.
And then someone wants to know how we can do so many trains. And honestly, one way is we have a video, I think, on the guest rewards points. We get tons of points. So if you're not on guest rewards,
we actually do a lot of free rides in bedrooms and roomettes.
Yeah, it's gonna cut your costs in like half.
It will.
So look into that, and that will be very beneficial
Yep.
for you.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be back and we'll finish up Italy. We're gonna ride quite a few trains here in Italy after we finish hanging out here in Monopoly. We're gonna ride quite a few trains here, and then we're gonna fly back to the US at the end of April. And in May, keep an eye out for us. Hopefully we'll run into some of you beautiful people while we're riding trains in May. We'll be riding almost the whole month in May, and then I don't know what we're gonna do after that. Stay tuned. But thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for the support, and keep watching, and we will hopefully see you guys on the rail very soon.
Bye.